How you doing, fight fans? It's UFC Vegas 80 weekend. We've got some fights, which means we've got an opportunity to make some money. Grant Dawson is taking on Bobby Green in the main event. And my name is Timmy Shoes, and I'm joined once again by Jesse Rowe, Inside Fighting's editor-in-chief. Jesse, how's it going, my man?
Doing very well, Timmy Shoes, MMA on X. The host of formerly known as the artist, formerly known as the host of How to Lake Up Your Parlay. But yeah, man, how's it going? I'm excited. You know, it's like not an amazing card, but we always agree about this. A common theme of this show. Cards that you don't expect much from, that are kind of weak, always end up providing some high quality knockouts and, you know, finishes.
Absolutely.
And it should be fun.
Listen, we've got some brawls to bet on, and we got some knockout wagers to look at. So
yes, sir.
Let's get right into it. There are a lot of fighters who are sort of under the radar fan favorites, and one of them is Drew Dober. He's fighting Rick Glenn, and Drew Dober is a minus 410 favorite. Okay, this guy Rick Glenn, he is a plus 320 underdog, and yeah, Vegas and the money lines, everyone thinks that Drew Dober is getting this knockout. Drew Dober by knockout is still a minus 175. Jesse, what do you make of this fight?
I think Drew Dober is going to win because I have no idea who Rick Glenn is. I would consider looking into a, like maybe sprinkling a little money on Rick Glenn just in case. Dober is coming off a loss where he got knocked out by Matt Frivola. That was a Frivola, right?
Frivola, yep.
Yeah, so, I don't know if it was a knockout or a TKO or what. I just remember it was UFC 284 or something like that, 283. Either way, it was sorry, let me backtrack here. I think that the only way you should bet on this is if you bet by winning method. That's what I'm going to say. Betting this outright is dumb. It's MMA. No need to bet a lot of money on a minus 400, but Drew Dober my knockout at a minus 175. Very interesting to throw into a parlay. I really like that idea.
Oh, yeah.
Drew Dober is going to win this fight. This is my lock of the night that I'm still not going to bet on, but I will take Dober as a lock.
All right. And, minus 410 on the money line. So lock indeed. Moving right.
What about you?
Along.
Who you got?
I got Drew Dober by knockout.
Okay.
All
right.
I thought the explanation spoke for itself. But yeah,
got it.
Drew Dober is getting that KO. Moving right along, we've got a very interesting fight at welterweight. We've got Alex.
Sorry, my vape cartridge is clogged, so I'm trying to blow it out. So if I look ridiculous, that's what's going on. I'm trying to clear it out.
When you were a kid, you blew out the dust from your N64 cartridges.
Did you hear
that? Now
we
blow out the dust from the vape cartridges.
Exactly.
The more it changes, the more it stays the same.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Continue.
We got a welterweight fight. Alex Morono. I'm really intrigued by this one. Alex Morono is fighting Joaquin Buckley. The odds are a bit closer. DraftKings has got some interesting odds. Alex Morono is a plus 142, and Joaquin Buckley is a minus 170. The reason why this fight is so intriguing for me is because Alex Morono, all right, he's on a very weird, good streak. Okay, he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's 5-1 in his last 6. And in that fight that he lost against Santiago Ponzinibbio, he was winning that fight. He almost won that fight. He got knocked out in the 3rd round of a fight that he was pretty much dominating the whole time. So he would have been on the cusp of a 6-fight winning streak. He choked out Tim Means. Alex Morono is a guy who's just sort of flown under the radar, sort of like one of those journeyman type guys, but he's putting together a good run. Now, Joaquin Buckley, he's known for that awesome knockouts. The thing about Joaquin is he either gets knocked out in the highlight reel or he gives you the highlight reel knockout. That's like his MO. So, I mean, this is a fascinating fight. Jesse, who you got?
What are the odds again? I'm sorry.
Morono is a plus 142 underdog.
Yeah.
And Buckley is a minus 170 favorite.
So I actually think this is like very correct because I feel like those are the odds that Buckley should have in virtually like most of his fights where he is a favorite. I don't think Buckley will ever be a heavy favorite for the reason that you just explained, that he is like, he's going to get hit. I mean, he almost got hit by Fiallo he got hit by Fiallo a few times in his last fight. Got wobbled. But I like what you said about Morono and the fight against Ponzinibbio, because that's what always comes to mind with me in him is how he was piecing up Ponzinibbio pretty good. You know, you could call that kind of a lucky win for Ponzinibbio a little bit, how things played out. Obviously, it was a gutsy performance, but still, you know, it's interesting. I think Buckley wins, but I like this as the high value underdog pick of this card so far. And I would, this is tough. I just think that Buckley, because he's down at welterweight now, I think actually what Buckley is a pretty safe bet. And I'd put minus 170. I think it's decent enough odds that you can put a couple $100 down on this confidently. I'll take Buckley, but I'm very hesitant to hedge my bets for Morono a little bit. I think that's a good bet. I think it's a very good bet.
I think that's a pretty good bet, but Alex Morono, I don't know. I think he's doing some good things. By the way, Buckley by knockout, which I assume that's how you think he's going to win, is I just had it here, is a minus 105. It's the only winning method that has a minus next to it. Okay, but Morono by decision, and most of his wins in the UFC are by decision, is a plus 300.
It's nice.
So if you like Morono to win by decision, I mean that's a nice little plus 300 right there. Throw it in a parlay. I don't know what to go. I don't know who to go with.
Buckley's a hard guy to bet on. He should win.
Is he gonna have that guy, that self-defense guy in his corner?
Oh God,
Detroit Dave or whatever his name is.
Right. The guy with the tucked-in shirt. Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
If that man's in his corner, he's going to win. Otherwise, I'm going Alex Morono by decision just because I like that plus 300.
I love that. I love the pick. I love the pick.
Moving right along. Okay, we've got Joe Pyfer, body bags, back in action. This is the co-main event. He is taking on the veteran Abdul Razak Al Yassin. Okay, and Joe Pyfer is, hold on, I got the money line here. Joe Pyfer is a minus 380 favorite. Very heavy favorite. Okay, and Abdul Razak Al Yassin is a plus 300. So obviously, the sports books have an idea of who was going to take this fight. But what does Jesse Rowe think? Jesse, who's going to take this fight?
I'm curious what the odds are on Pyfer by knockout or TK.
Pyfer by knockout is a minus 175.
So I think Pyfer is sort of like a little bit like Buckley in a way. I think is obviously better, but I think just he's going to provide an exciting fight. This is Dana White loves Joe Pyfer. I mean, when he talks about to the people on the Contender series, he literally says, like, a line that he has is be like Joe Pyfer or Pyfer, however you pronounce it. Be like that guy. He's a guy
I actually don't know how it's pronounced.
Brings the energy, goes for finishes. The fights are exciting. He lays it all out on the line. So I think that, like, there is room for him to lose with that sort of a kind of a crazy style where he's just a very aggressive style. I think that's what happens with Buckley a lot. And I do think Pyfer wins. This is another one I'd put winning method into a parlay rather than betting the fight outright, because I do like the odds on a finish way more than I like the odds on a win. And I do think Pyfer in a fight like this, I could see at the apex, it just feels like it's a knockout waiting to happen. I like that bet.
Yep, and just to put things in perspective, Joe Pyfer is 11-2. Okay, he hasn't lost. His last loss, he got hurt. It wasn't even like he got head kicked or something. He's got a 4-fight knockout streak. He's coming off a knockout over Gerard Meerschaert. And Abdul Razak Al Yassin is a guy who's known for his power, but he's 2-4 in his last 6. All right, things aren't going great. He's got a couple of knockouts, like pretty spectacular knockouts. He knocked out Claudio Ribeiro and Alessio Di Chirico, who, by the way, I believe knocked out Joaquin Buckley with a head kick. So a lot of guys who fought each other fighting on this card. So, I mean, Al Yassin's got that knockout ability, but I honestly think Pyfer's going to take it. Be like Joe Pyfer and listen to Jesse Rowe. Is that Joe Pyfer by knockout minus 175 is a great pick to throw in a parlay.
It is. And that being said, I completely forgot what I was going to say. I had something to say and I completely forgot. So just go ahead.
Must have been important. It must have been important.
If I remember, I will. I'll bring it up. I just totally blanked, completely blanked.
All right, now we've got a main event. Bobby Green is back in action, but he is up against it. All right, he is fighting Grant Dawson, who's only lost once in his career. Grant Dawson is 20-1 in MMA. He's coming off a win over Damir Ismagulov. I believe that was the fight that Ismagulov said he was going to retire after. He's a grappling extraordinaire. And Bobby Green's coming off his first submission win, if I'm not mistaken, over Tony Ferguson. So he's got that one in the belt, but a big gap in the grappling. That is why Grant Dawson is a -455 favorite. He's actually the biggest favorite on the main card. And King Bobby Green is a +350, friend of the channel. Jesse, can Bobby Green pull this off?
Yeah, no, I think that it's going to be a very tough fight. And I don't think Bobby should start getting too empowered by his recent submission win over Tony Ferguson. I know he's probably feeling himself in the grappling department a little bit, but yeah, I don't love this fight for him. I think especially in a 5-round main event, grappler versus striker, I could see a long night for Bobby on the mat. That being said, I think betting on a Bobby Green knockout just as a little like $50 bet throw out there, I'd imagine the odds are pretty ridiculous. And
but they're not bad.
What is it?
You want to know?
Yeah.
+550 for Bobby Green by knockout.
$50 wins you like close to 300, like 260, 275, something like that. I would absolutely consider it. And that being said, Grant Dawson by submission round 2.
Yep, $50 wins you 325.
Yeah, Grant Dawson by submission round 2. That's my pick.
Grant Dawson by submission, by the way, is a +120. I mean,
not bad.
That's the bet I like.
Yeah.
If you're gonna put together a parlay, I think you put Grant Dawson by submission, you put Pyfer by knockout, you put that's the one. The Morono Buckley one maybe leave out, and then Drew Dober by knockout.
I love it.
That might be the parlay to throw together. Okay, we're not the parlay boys over here.
Yeah,
but we're certainly good at teaching you how to bust up your parlay. So I like Grant Dawson by submission. I like him by decision. I think this is going to be a tough fight for Bobby, who, by the way, I thought he was retiring. He was going to retire after the Jared Gordon fight, and then he was going to retire after Tony fight. Dude just keeps fighting, and that's great because I love that hood style of fighting.
Yep, and he wants those. He wants the win bonuses. He puts on exciting fights. He's a fan favorite. I hope Bobby Green keeps fighting. I hope he does.
Yeah, and I hope he keeps winning too. I mean, Grant Dawson's been on a real streak. He hasn't lost in the UFC. His only loss in MMA was like some random promotion. So, yeah, man, Grant Dawson.
Yeah,
that is a UFC Vegas 80. Remember, bet responsibly. This is not financial advice. Correct. Honestly, you might want to go with the opposite of our picks.
Yeah,
because we're just a couple of dicks making picks.
Well, we're throwing them all out there, seeing what sticks. Couple of dicks making picks, throwing names out there, seeing what sticks.
Yeah. All right.
That was
Timmy Shoes with
Inside Fighting's betting show about UFC Vegas, whatever it's called.
Yep, UFC Vegas 80. I'm Timmy Shoes with InsideFighting.com. We're on all the socials. We're on X, Twitter, Instagram. Sorry, X is Twitter. Instagram, Threads, all that stuff. InsideFighting.com. Check us out on YouTube. That's probably where you're watching. But thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and peace.